Hey, in this video I'm breaking down exactly how I create my YouTube shorts using Blender and DaVinci Resolve. I'll show you the entire workflow from the start to finish, how everything looks behind the scenes and what it actually takes to create projects like these. Each project comes from my own imagination and every short takes around a week to complete. I'm making this video because my channel was rejected for monetization due to inauthentic content. This is a very common issue for animation channels right now, so I'm recording this as a clear proof of my work and process. Because apparently this is what inauthentic content looks like to YouTube CI. To me, honestly, it looks ridiculous and I think YouTube should fix it. Alright, let's jump into Blender. I start every project with my custom preset scene. It contains all the common settings I use for exporting. It contains a basic scene setup with volume, camera with focus, and a human reference, because I always work with real-world scale. It also includes a basic world shader setup with a basic compositor setup. I also use asset libraries, which are very useful for different props, especially for nature, materials, and other useful assets. Some assets come from different plugins like Botanic for nature, but I also have many custom ones, for example for different characters, and we can even jump to an original file that contains all the characters. It takes some time to set everything up, but eventually it becomes worth it once you use it quite often. This is the Blender project of my most popular short. As you can see, it contains many different elements for the environment and all the characters. Each character has many unique animations in nonlinear animation tab, and this is what entire level looks like, as you can see. This is another example of one of my projects inside the Blender. We have a main character for reference and a clown character. This hospital scene was bought from CG Trader website, and as you can see, it helps me a lot. This is another example of different project. We have two characters here. Animations are again mixed in nonlinear animation tab. I used this corridor scene from Blender Kit add-on. Here is a different scene that has very realistic nature setup. Objects like trees, bushes, grass are procedurally animated to simulate wind effect. Usually I disable it in editor for faster previews. All characters have IK setup, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. Here are some examples of how I use main character in my projects. As you can see, it has IK setup for hands, and I usually attach them to different objects like gun, steering wheel, phone, camera, flashlight. This setup is very flexible and I use it a lot in my different projects. This is how I create IK for characters. I start by duplicating a bone and I parent it to the root of the character, and using Shift-I shortcut I create an IK and I enable rotation and increase chain length. This is what final rig looks like in action. As you can see, we have IK setup for hands, fingers, legs and head. I also add custom properties to a character, and using drivers I am able to control IK influence from multiple bones without having to animate each one individually. This is the example of how I mix animations for characters in nonlinear animation tab in Blender. This scene has also a simple physics simulation for balls, and as you can see, this is how it's easy to offset animations and make smooth transitions between actions. Here's a quick Blender tutorial on how I animate camera. Camera movement is one of the most important parts of any animation. After I enable auto keying, I start by adding main keyframes on the timeline, then I add more in between to refine the camera rotation and movement. I also often attach a flashlight to the camera to follow its motion, and it follows the same pattern. I simply add keyframes, and I gradually refine the action until it feels more natural by adding keyframes in between. To make camera movement feel way more realistic inside Blender, I add noise for handheld effect. It adds a lot of immersion and the whole animation simply looks better and way more natural. So I simply go to modifiers tab in graph editor and I add noise modifier and I adjust different parameters until I'm happy with the result. I usually render the entire animation as a single layer for simple projects. Here are my export settings. I typically aim for 1 minute per frame. I always export in EXR because it gives much more flexibility later in DaVinci Resolve. Before final rendering, I do a quick low quality previews, and only after everything's good, I render the final version with high quality settings. After exporting animation from Blender, I go to DaVinci Resolve. I start by creating a new project, and this is exactly how I create every single project in DaVinci Resolve. I set frame rate to 30 and I use vertical resolution. I set target loudness level to -14 to match YouTube's standard. And after this, I import EXR sequence, I add new location, and I import EXR sequence here. And let's drag and drop. As you can see, we immediately see the problem with EXR. It needs to be converted using LUTs to match Blender's filmic view. I apply this and filmic, and as you can see, it's much better. Immediately we can set emit and detail to maximum by adding a new node. It always gives much more clarity, and basically it always makes everything better. And next up we go to Fairlight tab, where I immediately import my custom preset that I created for different effects like lens dirt, bloom, vignette. I adjust different parameters to achieve desired effect for this specific short. As you can see, it looks much better. And next up we can go to color grading tab, where we immediately can set the temperature, we can decrease color boost and increase saturation. In my opinion, this gives better results. We can decrease shadows or increase highlights depending on the scene. We can also play around with lift and gain, and this allows us to achieve more like cinematic filmic look. As you can see, the difference is huge. It looks way better. Yeah, we can play around with those settings, contrast, increase. And this is the final result. For sound effects, I create a folder, name it SFX, and here we can import sounds, but instead of dragging and dropping like this, which loses the folder structure, I go to Media tab and instead I import in folder itself, which preserves the folder structure, as you can see. And next up we can simply drag and drop sounds in our timeline. And this is how everything can look like inside the final project. As you can see, we have a lot of different sounds, lots of different transitions, and each sound has to have adjusted volume settings, because it's important to check later audio settings inside Fairlight tab. For YouTube, I target around -1.5 for true peak value and around -14 for integrated. This keeps audio clean without any clipping issues when exporting. And once everything is ready, we can jump to Deliver tab, and I choose my own custom preset for YouTube exports. We can choose the location for exporting our animation. We can name our file, and we can simply press add to render queue, and after waiting a little while we can see the final result. And yeah, this is how I create my YouTube shorts for YouTube using Blender. Each one usually takes around a week to complete from the start to finish. In the future, I plan to go deeper into more specific topics, but for now, thanks for watching and enjoy this animation. Bye!